Hi, this is Ruthie. I'm responding to Jordan, Madison, and then Adrian about the Bressler article. This article was about the 4 integration techniques that you can use to incorporate music into your classroom with other subjects. And just to recap, the 4 were subservient, co-equal, affective, and social integration. And the question that Jordan posed to all of us was, which one would we use the most as a classroom teacher in our opinions? Like, what do we think we would use the most? So I think as a future teacher, it would depend on what I was trying to accomplish with my students to know what I'm supposed to be using. If I was trying to talk about like classroom rules, friendship, that kind of stuff, I think it would definitely be like great to use affective integration, because it allows the students to express themselves and their emotions and their feelings the most out of all of them. But if I was trying to teach a lesson about social studies or science, I could see myself using the co-equal style the most, just because you want the content to still be there, but you do want to incorporate the music as well. So you want both to be kind of equal, which is exactly what that technique uses. Also, if I were trying to have students share their work and show it off and kind of like show their accomplishments, I like the idea of using social integration. I did this a lot in my grade schools, where we did like author thing where you wrote your own book, you presented it to your parents, like Christmas shows, that kind of stuff, like different dance routines and like recitals. So that would be something that would be really cool if students want to show that off to their families, or to the rest of the class as well. I think it would be pretty difficult for us as general education teachers to use the subservient integration styles, because we have a lot of other requirements and like subjects that we're teaching. And usually us as general ed teachers don't teach music, like just straight up music. So I think it would be kind of hard to cover music every single day, or like at least a couple times a week. Usually, like most schools that I've had experience with have specials. And so I think the subservient integration style mostly is used in specials, because that's kind of their area of expertise, and they kind of know what it takes when it comes to that. The students would probably be going to those specials. So while we could do subservient methods, like if we had time, I don't know that it would be most beneficial to them, since they might already be getting that integration in their like art class or music class, anything like that. But I do think that the other 3 are really useful in our general ed classroom, because you can integrate them with every other subject that you're teaching. Even like health and PE, you can totally incorporate music into that. So I think it depends on what kind of thing you're going for. You can use all of them, and there's definitely a lot of ways to use all of them. I've seen a lot of these integrated styles in my TIP classrooms and in my student teaching classrooms. So it's definitely possible, and I think a lot of teachers do a really good job of it. But the problem is that there might not be enough of it. So I don't know that I had like a favorite or like the most that I would use and why, because I think they're kind of all different for different like things, depending on what the objectives are for your students, like what you want them to learn, all that kind of stuff. If I had to pick a favorite, I would probably pick like the co-equal style, just because I feel like that's most useful to us as a general ed teacher. Through any of my subjects, I can integrate those, but I think they're all pretty useful for the most part. So all right, well, I look forward to hear what Jordan has to say to close out the week for us tomorrow, and stay tuned for next week when we talk about a new topic.